From the night Dexter slid a needle into the one man who finally understood him to the moment he stood over the monster who built him, these are the most satisfying kills in Dexter history. And somehow the closer you get to number 1, the more complicated satisfying becomes. 10. Little Chino. Season 2, Episode 3. Little Chino isn't a complex villain. That's exactly the point. He's a pure, uncomplicated, evil man who keeps killing because no courtroom has ever made him stop. When Dexter finally corners him, there's no psychological chess match, no monologue, just the table, the rap, and a problem permanently solved. Dexter doesn't hesitate for a second. No internal conflict, no dark passenger negotiation, just clean, focused work.
Shit. Not enough tape. Perfect.
Miami Metro doesn't even register what happened. The streets move on, and the audience exhales for the first time in 2 episodes. This is one of the few kills in the series where the show gives you pure, uncomplicated release.
Yeah.
Then answer my fucking question, Chino. What time did you pick up Raphael last night?
No moral gray area, no collateral damage. A predator is removed from the world and nothing gets worse because of it. Dexter caused nothing here except an ending that was overdue. Little Chino earned this table. This sits at 10 because it's satisfying the way a locked door is satisfying, simple, functional, airtight. But satisfaction without complexity can only take you so far on this list. And if that feels clean, the next one gets messy in the best possible way. 9. Lila West. Season 2. Finale. Lila doesn't die in Miami. She dies in Paris thinking she escaped. That detail matters more than anything else about this kill.
And to trust in the one thing I know with absolute clarity.
Dexter tracks her to an apartment she thinks is safe. She opens the door, and he's already inside sitting in the dark, needle in hand. She doesn't scream. She doesn't run. She just realizes in the space of one breath that she was never as untouchable as she believed. Dexter gets the kill he's been denied all season. Dokes is dead because of her. Deb almost died because of her. Angel almost died. The audience has watched this woman weaponize love and chaos in equal measure, and there's something deeply satisfying about watching Dexter arrive at her door before she even unpacks. The relief in the fandom when this scene aired was visceral. She had burned down too much. The show needed this closure to function. Lila caused most of Season 2's collateral damage, and she paid for it alone in a foreign city, with no one coming to find her. That's not justice from the system. That's Dexter's version of it.
Well, I don't want to know, but that's more information that I know.
Look who's come out of his cave!
This ranks above Little Chino because it required patience. The satisfaction is earned across an entire season, not a single episode. But while Lila's death was about eliminating a threat, the next one is about eliminating someone who got too close. 8. Stan Liddy. Season 5, Episode 11. Liddy is the most dangerous kind of enemy, the one who figured it out without a code. He's not a killer, he's not a rival, he's just a washed-up cop who followed the wrong van at the right time, and now he has footage that ends everything.
You're Quinn's friend.
That would be me.
Dexter kills him in the back of a surveillance van, crammed in, tight, desperate, and cornered. It's ugly. There's nothing ceremonial about it. No table, no ritual, no speech. It's survival. Dexter's reaction is pure adrenaline shaking hands, blood on his shirt, Quinn's prints on the scene. The kill solves one problem and immediately creates 3 more. Lumen hears it happen through a phone. Quinn nearly goes to prison for it. The satisfaction here isn't clean. It's the satisfaction of watching someone defuse a bomb 1 second before detonation. You're not cheering. You're just breathing again. Liddy didn't deserve the code. He wasn't a killer, but he was going to destroy Dexter's entire world. Sometimes the code bends under enough pressure, and this is one of the rare moments where the audience completely understands why. This ranks at 8 because the kill itself is messy, but the relief it delivers is enormous. It's the most tension release moment on this list. But Liddy was just doing his job. The next one deserved everything that was coming. 7. Boyd Fowler. Season 5, Episode 1. Boyd Fowler is the perfect opener for a broken season. Dexter has just buried Rita. He's running on nothing, grief, numbness, autopilot.
Reached out and found something I didn't even know was there. She never hurt anybody. She was innocent.
And then Boyd leads him straight into a barrel full of women who never got a name on the news. Dexter tracks him through a dead animal removal route, pieces together the pattern, and gets him on the table before Boyd even realizes the hunt is already over.
I had to borrow this from you. I hope you don't mind.
What the hell?
Boyd doesn't beg. He lectures like he genuinely believes he was protecting those women from something worse. And then Dexter says the line that sets the entire season in motion. I know what you did to them.
Only suffered a loss. My wife was murdered by someone like you.
Dexter's reaction is quiet rage, not the focused calm of his best kills, but something rawer. He just lost Rita. He's watching another predator who decided women's lives were his to control. The connection is unspoken and devastating. Lumen, hidden in that room, witnesses everything, and suddenly Season 5 has its entire premise. Boyd thought he was a savior. He was a collector. Dexter ending him here isn't just satisfying, it's the show reclaiming its moral footing after the worst thing it ever did to its audience.
We'll have to deal.
This ranks at 7 because it's less about Boyd and more about what finding him unlocks. The kill is the beginning, not the end, which raises one question. How do you follow a kill that doubles as a resurrection? The answer involves going all the way back to where everything started. 6. Mike Donovan, Season 1, Episode 1, Cold Open. This one doesn't get ranked enough. It should. Before the audience knows a single rule of this show, Dexter Morgan has already decided a choir director is going to die tonight. Mike Donovan has killed children. He knows it. Dexter knows it. And now the viewer knows it 30 seconds into the entire series. Donovan is in the wrap. The plastic is up. And Dexter makes him look at the photographs. Every single one. And then Dexter delivers the line that defines the next 8 seasons of television, the sentence that tells you exactly who this man is and exactly how you're going to feel about watching him. No, don't look away. You need to see this. What you did, you need to see it. Dexter is calm, certain, completely in control. Donovan weeps and confesses not because it saves him, but because Dexter needs him to understand why he's dying. The audience doesn't recoil, they lean forward. That's the whole trick. That's the entire show's premise, established in under 3 minutes. Donovan was the test of the character, of the format, of the audience's willingness to follow a killer into the dark. everyone passed. This ranks at 6 because it's the foundation of everything. Without this kill landing exactly right, none of the others exist. If the kill you were waiting for hasn't shown up yet, it's coming. Because this is where the list stops being about relief and starts being about reckoning. And if you're into breakdowns like this, make sure you're subscribed because the top 5 only get darker from here. 5. Jordan Chase, Season 5. Finale. Jordan Chase spent an entire season hiding behind philosophy, behind Emile Dubois, behind a voice on a motivational track telling broken men to take it now. He was the architect of something monstrous, and he never once got his hands dirty. Until the finale, when there's no one left between him and the table. What makes this kill different is Lumen. She's in the room. She needs this.
If you hadn't met me, you would never have known you had it in you.
I wouldn't have had it in me.
Now you do!
Shut up!
Dexter steps back and for the first and only time in the series, lets someone else finish it. Jordan Chase dies not at Dexter's hand, but at the hand of one of his survivors. Dexter watches. He doesn't interfere. He doesn't redirect.
That's not just for me. That's for everyone that you hurt.
He just stands there and lets Lumen take back what Chase stole from her. The audience doesn't just want Chase dead. They want Lumen to be the one who does it. The show understands that and delivers it without flinching.
I'm sorry. I know that's not how you're supposed to do it.
Chase built an empire on convincing men that power meant ownership. He dies at the hands of a woman he tried to erase. There is no version of this ending that isn't exactly right. This ranks at 5 because the satisfaction belongs to Lumen as much as the audience. Dexter is almost secondary, and that's what makes it extraordinary. But while Chase's death was about giving power back, the next one is about what happens when Dexter finally meets someone worthy of his respect and has to destroy him anyway. 4. Isaac Sirko, Season 7, Episode 8. Isaac Sirko was never supposed to be sympathetic. He arrives as a Koshka Brotherhood enforcer hunting Dexter for killing one of his own. He should be an obstacle, a threat to neutralize. Instead, he becomes the most unexpectedly human antagonist the show ever produced. By the time Dexter gets him on the table, they've already had conversations that felt more honest than anything Dexter shares with Deb.
What I don't know is what drove you to kill my friend.
I told you he killed Mike Anderson.
A man you barely knew for less than 3 months.
Isaac saw Dexter clearly not as a monster, not as a hero, just as a man shaped entirely by what he loves and what he loses. Dexter doesn't perform the kill. He grants it. Isaac is already dying from a rival faction's bullet. Dexter stays with him until the end on a boat, on open water, 2 men who could have destroyed each other choosing something quieter instead.
What are you waiting for, you little shit?
And then Isaac says the words that reframe everything they built across 7 episodes. I envy you, Dexter. You found her. The department never knew what Isaac was. Miami Metro files him as a syndicate. The audience knows he was the only person in Season 7 who made Dexter examine himself without flinching. Dexter didn't cause Isaac's death, but he chose to be there for it, and that choice reveals more about who Dexter is than any kill on a table ever could. This changed everything about how Season 7 feels in retrospect. Fans never forgot this moment, not because it was brutal, but because it was tender in a show that rarely allowed itself to be. This ranks at 4 because the satisfaction here isn't relief or justice. It's grief.
Watch any Western and you'll know a man out for vengeance should dig 2 graves, one for his enemy and one for himself. I won't be needing mine, but I'll see to it that Isaac isn't alone in his.
And grief hits harder than anything else on this list, except what's coming. The next entry is where the show stops being about a killer finding worthy opponents and starts being about a man confronting the version of himself he was trying to outrun. 3. Arthur Mitchell. The Trinity Killer, Season 4, Episode 9. Everything about Arthur Mitchell's death should feel like victory. Four Walls Killer, most prolific serial killer in American history.
You made me do this.
The man who murdered Rita. The man who made Dexter believe that a monster could also have a family, and then proved exactly why that belief was dangerous. Dexter gets him in a container yard. Arthur is bound, confused, still trying to negotiate, still performing the family man right up until the moment the slide goes on the wall. Dexter delivers the line that the audience has needed since the bathtub scene. "Hello, Arthur. Looks like you're having a bad day." Arthur doesn't get a profound final moment. He doesn't get absolution. He gets exactly what he gave every family he destroyed, with a sudden, irreversible ending.
I gave them everything.
Christine.
No.
The department eventually connects the dots. The Trinity case closes. Rita's murder goes officially unsolved. Deb grieves. Harrison grows up without a mother. And the audience sits with the brutal irony that Dexter killed Trinity one episode too late. This is where the show crossed a line it couldn't come back from. Arthur Mitchell's death is satisfying and hollow simultaneously because Rita is already gone. The kill lands. The damage doesn't reverse. Dexter caused this. Not Trinity's existence, but the timing. His double life demanded he be two places at once, and the place he chose wasn't home.
It's already over. It's already over.
This ranks at 3 because it's the most complicated satisfaction on this list. You get exactly what you wanted, and it changes absolutely nothing. That's the show at its most brutal. Fans never forgot this moment, but the top 2 aren't about what Dexter lost. They're about what he built, what he trusted, and what he had to unmake with his own hands. 2. Brian Moser, the Ice Truck Killer, Season 1, Finale. Brian Moser is the only person in the entire series who loves Dexter Morgan completely. Not despite what he is. Because of it. He's the brother Dexter didn't know existed, the one who survived the same shipping container, the same blood, the same origin. He built an entire killing spree as an invitation. A homecoming. Dexter gets him in a hotel room. Brian is already on the table arranged that way by choice, almost offering himself. He genuinely believes Dexter will choose him, choose blood, choose the version of himself that doesn't pretend. Dexter raises the knife, and Brian smiles. The reaction isn't relief, it's fracture. Harry's code wins. Family, as Dexter was taught to define it, wins. But the audience watches something in Dexter's face that never fully comes back the moment he kills the one person who saw him without the mask and didn't look away. Deb never fully understands what she survived that night. Miami Metro closes the case clean. But the audience carries the weight of what Brian represented, the road not taken, wrapped in plastic. This didn't just hurt, it emptied everything that came after. Every relationship Dexter tries to build in the following 7 seasons exists in the shadow of this choice. He killed the person who knew him best. He was never going to find that again. The show was never the same. And Dexter knew it the second it was done. This ranks at 2 because it's the most psychologically devastating kill on the list. But it's not number 1, because number 1 isn't about losing someone. It's about destroying someone you chose to trust. 1. Miguel Prado, Season 3, Episode 11. Miguel Prado wasn't a victim Dexter stumbled across. He wasn't a monster Dexter hunted. He was a choice, the first and only time Dexter deliberately let someone in. Not as a cover, not as a complication, as a partner, as a friend.
Understand? You know that they don't know what it is to be a man, to be a son, all of that fucking pressure.
Grow up and be exactly the man your father molded you to be.
That's what makes this kill the most satisfying and the most devastating moment in the entire series. Miguel saw the dark passenger and didn't run. He leaned in. He wanted to learn. And Dexter starved his entire life for something resembling genuine connection taught him, showed him the code, walked him through the ritual, gave him the closest thing to trust he had ever extended to another human being outside of Harry.
Is that you?
And Miguel used every single piece of it against him. He kills Ellen Wolf, a woman Dexter explicitly protected. He threatens to expose Deb. He looks Dexter in the eye and says the words that collapse the entire friendship in a single sentence. "I'm not one of your victims, Dexter. I'm your legacy." Dexter gets him on the table in an empty building. Miguel still tries to negotiate switching from threat to charm to appeal in the span of 30 seconds, because that's who Miguel Prado is. A man who genuinely believes his intelligence can talk his way out of anything. It can't talk its way out of this. Dexter wraps the cord, and for once there's no hesitation, no internal monologue weighing the code against the kill. Just quiet, absolute certainty, the kind that only comes when betrayal has burned away every last doubt. The department mourns Miguel Prado publicly. A memorial, speeches.
You're little freak!
The district attorney is remembered as a hero. Dexter stands at the funeral watching people grieve a fiction about a man who never existed outside of the performance Miguel put on for the world. Deb never knows. Maria never knows. The friendship, the partnership, the experiment in human connection dies with Miguel and gets buried under official condolences. This changed everything. Not because Miguel was the most dangerous killer on this list, he wasn't, but because killing him meant something no other kill ever meant, that Dexter cannot have what other people have. That every time he reaches for genuine connection, the code will eventually demand he take it back. Fans never forgot this moment because it's the one kill that doesn't feel like justice or relief or survival. It feels like an amputation. This is where the show crossed a line it couldn't come back from. Every relationship Dexter attempts after Miguel carries the ghost of what happened in that building, the proof that closeness and the dark passenger cannot coexist. Dexter caused this completely. He chose Miguel. He trained him. He trusted him. And then the thing he built came back to destroy everything he was protecting. There is no version of this story where Dexter walks away clean. Miguel Prado's death didn't just end a friendship, it ended Dexter's last real belief that he could be known and still be safe. These were the kills that hit the hardest, satisfied the deepest, and cost the most. Which one landed hardest for you? Did we miss a kill that deserved a spot? Drop it below and we might include it in the next one. Subscribe if you're not done going through the darkness yet. Click here to watch Dexter's most brilliant moments. It hits just as hard.